This is Money Motivation and Mike, and I'm your host, Michael Wainwright. In charge of the show and the controls is Jason Wright. And hello to you, world. This is the show that can and will change your life. You can contact us at info@mx3.vip and find all of our content at mx3.vip or on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@mx3podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified of all of our new content, which comes out every Monday morning around 9 o'clock. And Jason, as we endeavor into August, we have had a goal of reaching 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year. New Year. We're going to have a New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, 24-hour celebration if we reach our goal, which is 250,000 subscribers. And we entered the year at just at 100,000. Recall that? Mm-hmm. 2.5 years in. Took us 2.5 years to get to 100,000. And here we are sitting this morning at 187,828 views. And before we come on the air, you told me in the last 28 days, we've averaged 13,198 subscribers.
Right.
We have 5 months to go. So with my accounting and math degrees, 13,198 times 5 months, August, September, October, November, December, is 65,990.
That is correct.
And 65,990 plus 187,827 is 253,000.
Ooh, just squeaking by.
817 people. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, audience of all kinds. Continuing on. Hey, we doing all right?
Got to keep up the pace.
Doing all right. 7 months in, 5 to go, right on target. With a little ice cream on top to spare. But not much.
No.
Yeah. Can't start just celebrating today.
Yep. Don't relax yet.
Got to keep going around here. All right. If you remember here a couple of weeks ago, I had the quote, if you look at the people in your circle and don't feel inspired, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. Continuing on this personal growth. Now, as this is a mental health, motivational moment. No results, keep working. Bad results, keep working. Great results, keep working. Consistency is the key. Don't give up. And here's your first example of that. Henry Ford. I think everybody's heard of Henry Ford. If you haven't, he's there's probably a good chance that you're riding in a Ford or somewhere in the 40 to 50 percentile. I still think that most cars on the road are Chevys or Fords. But I think one time they said there's a bunch of electric cars out there running around now, Jason.
There is indeed.
They probably don't have Chevy or Ford on them, do they?
Very few.
All right. We've got...
those are mostly hybrids.
Hey, those in our territory, those Dodge trucks are pretty popular too. So we got to give Dodge a shout out there. Buicks, Pontiacs. All right. There's more than meets the eye. But Henry Ford, first company he started, failed. And I'm sure he had some other failures along the way. You know what age he was when he started Ford Motor Company?
Still kind of older, was he not?
40 years old. He'd already hit 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old are you, Jason?
44? 42. Ain't that right? I quit counting.
No, that's incorrect. Gosh almighty, you're asking me how old you are. I am 56. I'm 13 years older than you. You're 43.
There you go. I was dancing around it.
Because you'll be 44 this year.
Yeah.
And I'll be 57.
I have to ask my wife every time somebody asks. She ain't around right now.
So, you're 43 years old. 36 months ago, can you have imagined starting an automobile industry? And that's what he did.
Yeah.
He started up his own motor company, but in essence, he started up the automobile industry. That's incredible, isn't it?
He put it into high gear, right?
He put it into gear, period.
Yeah. Well, he's the one coming up with the assembly line, right?
But the Model T.
Yeah.
Model T is where it all started. But yeah, he is the assembly line guy.
Yeah.
See, McDonald's takes credit for that. I think it was Ford. I think it was Henry. All right. Do you overthink? It's because you don't write things down. How about that? Are you anxious? It's because you don't act on your thoughts. Do you procrastinate? Ooh. How many people have we brought in to the show today? Do you procrastinate? Because you don't have a plan. Are you stressed? It's because you don't find a way to relieve that stress, such as training, working out, going for a walk in the morning, whatever it is. There is definitely. Do you think that is a mind game, Jason? You're stressed and you go do something else and that takes your mind off the stress? Or does the actual action relieve the stress?
I think once it's completed, the stress is gone. For sure. I think it's just your whole mindset of it.
Is it because you're tired? Now you can't be stressed?
I'm always tired.
So you're always tired, then you're never stressed. Living that life of luxury down there on that end of the table. Okay, if you're stressed, you need an activity. Probably sitting on the couch isn't going to get rid of your stress. Do you lack clarity? It's because you don't have a journal. We talked about a journal 3.5 years ago. And people have wanted to see my journals. And you write it down, you can see it. There's no fogness of what I'm trying to do, trying to accomplish. Here's you a great example of a journal, a grocery list. Don't write it down. You get to the grocery store, get home, dadgummit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's always something simple like the milk or the bread. So,
about half the time I leave that list in the car, get in there, and like, son of a gun.
I bet most people are putting it on that phone these days.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. When my better half wants to remember something, she says, "Hey, text me this."
Yeah.
Text me that. All righty. Sure will. Procrastination and stress. Two of the biggest ones of these 5. But you are anxious. It makes sense. You are anxious because you don't act. Just sitting around with the anxiety. You know that old deal of having to go in to do something, and it's the fear of what you're going to do that's much worse than actually doing the act?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people don't want to go to surgery? Oh, it's just going to be terrible. How many people have you ever talked to that remembers the open heart surgery they went through? 0.
Right. They
Yeah.
should be out, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, if they're not, they probably never came back. Whenever they when they started breaking open those ribs, that probably finished them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the whole deal, I mean, oh gosh, going to have open heart surgery. Going to have this surgery. Now, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We're going to stick a needle in the IV in the vein over here, start that IV up, and you're never going to remember any of it.
Yeah.
But the build up to it.
Yeah, that is the worst part of it.
It's killer.
The weight.
Whew. All right. So you know what we got to do? We got to grow. Here are the 6 signs that you're growing. Growth isn't always visible. And you may be continuing to fail, but you're growing big time. And we'll take a batter. We'll take a batter at the plate. Starts out, can't even make contact. 3 strikes and you're out, can't even make contact. Then starts putting it in play. But it's being hit to people and you're still getting out at first base. You have grown, but you're still failing because you're not getting on base. Make sense?
Yes.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works. Spot on. Number 1, you know you're growing when you are entering unfamiliar territory. We've talked about the area where no one wants to go. Let's stay in our comfort zone and let's don't go over there. It's unfamiliar territory. And, that's going to break our rhythm. That's going to break the rut that we all have established, most of us, in our life. So you have to go into unfamiliar territory for growth, and that is the first sign of growth. Number two, you're failing often and adjusting fast. Okay? Just like what we talked about just now with the batter. Okay? He or she not making contact. Now we're hitting ground balls. So we're probably hitting on top of the ball because the ball's going straight down into the ground. So now we got to make an adjustment to maybe get some height on the ball. Or maybe we need to be trying to hit it more in the center, that old deal of the round ball and the round bat and hit it square to in between the people. So we got to adjust fast. We'll adjust at the next at bat. That's how that works. You're failing often, but you're adjusting. You're defending your space, even if it's awkward. All right. I see this all the time in families. And we'll just say that one of the families is like the whipping person. They may be sitting there. They may be in the conversation. They may be right 100% of the time. Let's just say 90. But they never defend their space. And they allow the person across the table to attack them and convince them with just their lack of knowledge and your lack of actions that you're failing. Defend your space, even if it's awkward. See, I've never had that problem. Maybe early on. I have no problem calling somebody out whenever they hadn't figured it out. And there's a lot of people, 80% of them, who make comments, have no idea and no clue what they're talking about. Defend your space. It's not always simple, and sometimes it's awkward. But it proves, it proves you're honoring yourself. And boundaries guard you. We went over a couple of weeks ago where something along the lines of, I hear you. Now let me tell you how I see it. Remember those things? Instead of just, hey, you're goofy, you're dead wrong, shut up. Okay, I hear your opinion. Now let me tell you what I think. Defend your space. Number 4, you're wrestling with fear or uncertainty. The inner voice. Everybody has that inner voice. And the change is near. And doubts come into your mind, leaving you beyond comfort. Wrestling with fear. Once again, going back to that same thing of that unfamiliar territory. You have fear, and the fear is typically worse than what it is that you're fixing to do. Fear of walking across the bridge. And the bridge is solid. Millions of people have walked across the bridge. They've drove across the bridge. But you have fear of walking across that bridge because it's a mile down to the bottom. And that gives you that gives you insecurities. Number 5, you're hearing criticism you didn't expect. Now, I wasn't expecting you to criticize me for that because I'm growing. And what that probably means is you're growing bigger than them. And they don't like that. So they criticize you. Their unexpected input shows you're operating at a higher level. And I have had a psychiatrist tell me before, that person you hang out with, now, obviously, they were taking counseling too. That person you hang out with, what are you going to do when you outgrow them? Because the psychiatrist could already tell where this was going. And the other person who walks into the room, knows more than the psychiatrist. So they can't open up to receive the information. So you have growth and they don't think they need the growth. That's where the criticism comes into play, because your movement is upwards, and not only is their movement neutral, it may be going backwards. Back over here to what I was saying about your circle. And if you don't feel inspired, you're in a cage, not in a circle. Here's your number 6 sign you're growing. You're outgrowing people who limit your vision. Change makes shifts. You ever heard the old saying, Jason? Oh, he outgrew our neighborhood. They moved on.
Right.
They don't know us anymore. They forgot where they came from. I understand all those comments. And really what's happened is they have grown. And they've went to another area, another level, another zone that you can't even envision. And you're mad at them because they grew. You're not happy for them because they're still not down here in misery with you. That's exactly what that means. Why should they stay in the neighborhood when they can go over to the other side of town in that neighborhood? Because over there, that circle inspires them. And over here, they can't even communicate with you because they continue to educate themselves, getting into that journal. They don't procrastinate. They take action. They do the things here that we have been talking about. They're okay with failing and going out and starting an industry, an empire at the age of 40, when most people are set in their ways and too scared to make a change. They're 20 years into their career. They got that nice job, J-O-B. And the other problem with getting out of a job is that you've put yourself too far in debt. And now you have children, and now here comes along college and all this other stuff. And you can't move out of the neighborhood because you got too many commitments over here. But the real reason you can't move out of the neighborhood is because you haven't grown and you haven't taken yourself, your life, and your family to another level. And that's really why they have outgrown the neighborhood. And you don't like that. You're outgrowing people who limit their vision. Realizing that those people would like to keep you right in the same room that they live in. Makes sense, doesn't it?
I think so.
It's aggravating. What do you tell me? What do you think about that? Because, I've said that myself. Hey, he's too big to talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe they're too smart to talk to you. Maybe, it's not because they drive the car that costs 3 times what your car costs. That's the level they've went to.
Yeah.
Now, I do know people who have went to that level and they're broker than they've ever been. They grew in lots of areas. They did not grow in figuring out how to manage their money.
Right.
They grew in areas. They did not figure out that the dollar is still 4 quarters, 10 dimes, 20 nickels, 100 pennies.
Outliving their means.
Oh, you know them.
Yeah, I do.
If they make $100 a week, they spend 110.
Yeah.
If they make 100 million a week, they'd spend 110 million. Now, the problem with that is the more money you make, the more you overspend, the more debt you have, the farther it is to get back to zero.
Trying to keep up with that image.
And that's not necessarily the people who are moving out and growing.
Yeah.
If you want to work in the market, maybe you have to go to Wall Street. I mean, you probably can't do that from Cobbard, Oklahoma. I love Cobbard, Oklahoma, just by the way. My mom is a Cobbard, Oklahoma grad. Do you know that, Jason?
I did not know that.
Yes, sir. Remember, Jason and I have different mothers. Your mom, one of the rivalries, Silo, Oklahoma.
That's right.
And my son went to Silo, Oklahoma.
That's right.
It's a big old entwangled, I don't know what it is. I got smart and come to Texas. I don't know. I love the great state of Oklahoma. And you know what the University of Oklahoma says? There's only one Oklahoma. There's some smart people up there.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Hey, by the way, home of the world champion Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yes.
Yes. Now I know that I call Norman Oklahoma City. I realize it's 30 miles to the south of downtown.
Sure. Right.
But the number one sport in the state of Oklahoma is Oklahoma football. The number two sport is Oklahoma City Thunder basketball. The number one will never change up there. And of course, number two. Now I'm getting off track here because we're talking about growth, but here's your growth for Oklahoma City. You know how Oklahoma City got a team? Hurricane Katrina.
The New Orleans team.
2005, right? Wasn't that about when that Katrina was?
Yeah.
2005, 2006?
I think so.
Remember the New Orleans Saints moved to San Antonio? And back then I think they were called the New Orleans Hornets, not the New Orleans Pelicans. The New Orleans Hornets, they had to play somewhere. They moved to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City sold out it was a very short period of time. And at that time, I think they played at the Ford Center up there. Matter of fact, Henry Ford Center up there. And I think they had like 20,000 seats. They sold them things out in just days.
Yeah. Well, there's no other pro team.
Sold out. Well, but still, there is no pro team, but that area still had to take an attraction to professional basketball.
Yeah.
And maybe, it's the new but you said it's the new thing in town, so everybody went to it. And they ended up playing in Oklahoma City for 2 years. And then they went back to New Orleans. And then that's when they go out and, Audrey McLennan, the old guy from Chesapeake.
Yeah.
Goes out and buys Seattle Supersonics. Moves them straight to Oklahoma City.
Proved there was a market there.
And there has been since. 20 years later, they've now won the NBA championship, and they continue to fill up the house.
They've been to the finals.
They have.
Once or twice.
They went to
prior to this year.
They went to the finals one other time in 2012. Remember, Dallas beat them in 2011.
Yeah.
To go to the finals and beat the Miami Heat. Thank you. And the next year, they went to the finals and got beat by the Miami Heat. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
And then the year after that, then we sent San Antonio up there. And I believe they beat San Antonio. They did. I know they won 2 out of the 4. And San Antonio beat them the other one. So the Dallas, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, right here on I-35.
Yep.
That's what Miami Heat were playing every year. Nobody thinks about this stuff like I do. I don't know what it is. Because everybody else is too smart to even worry about thinking about good, useless information like that.
That's right. There you go.
Yes. Hey, one last thing on this growth. Don't take things personal. And we all do. I mean, we just sat on the edge of the seat and you look at me wrong. And I take that personal. And I sum it up to a group who get together and act like they're the happiest bunch of 5 or 6 people in the world. And as soon as they walk away and get in their cars, each one is calling another one talking about, did you see that? Did you see? Oh, you know what it is. Taking things personal. It drains your energy. It warps your reality of your mind. And it destroys you. And it completely puts you in a point of uncontrol. And those who can control their emotions live so much more peaceful in life. And it is a very, 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 very hard thing to do. I'm better at it than I've ever been. But I mean, I used to be one of those people that would wait on that you to say the wrong thing, and then it was attack. Then when you don't react the way I want you to, then that makes me even more aggravated, more bad energy, more stress. And that person walks away from that conversation with a smile on their face, giggling because of what you put yourself into and you can't get out. And it really had nothing to do with the person. Money, motivation, and Mike. And we continue to rock along here, Jason. Headed for one of our goals of 250,000 subscribers. And that will make it 3.5 years. We're working on year 4 now. We are 1 month into year 4. But we will accomplish this in 3.5 years. Can't put the band out there yet, but we're getting real close. Contact us at info@mx3.vip and find all of our content at mx3.vip or on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@mx3podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified of all of our new content, which comes out every Monday morning around 9 o'clock. And also go down and get into the comment section. Give us some comments. And I'll leave you with this. Are you the next Henry Ford? For Money, Motivation, and Mike, and everyone who's been a part of this show, continue to live your life the right way.